Hello, everyone. You can hear me? Okay, great. I'm see here. I have people from Nigeria, Toronto, which more? Colombia, Brazil. I'm also from Brazil. New York, Nicaragua. Oh my gosh, around the world. It's so amazing. So good morning, good afternoon, good night, because we were in different time zones, right? So thank you so much for being here. Today, it's really important for me doing this event, my first time doing an event like that. I am tech recruiter at VanHack, and I started work at VanHack in events team. Now I am a recruitment team. So this is really important, especially because it's about the women tech. That is an event that I did before, and I love it so much. So it's really nice to be with all of you here today. I'm going to start share my screen because we don't have a lot of time to talking about and have many questions to show for you. And I'm starting to share my screen for all of you. I have in the backstage Bonita, that is my friend and peer. She will be on the chat, answer some kind of questions that you might have. And if you have time in the final presentation, I also be back here and try to talk with you, okay? So let me start share. You can see my presentation. Is that okay? Okay, great. So let me start. Today we're gonna talking about common interview questions that usually come up and the interview, especially I think it's more in interview with the client than with recruiters. Depends the kind of client are you participate at the moment. So we're gonna cover these points. I'm Rita. I already introduced myself for you. Let me just jump for that. We're gonna cover these points today. Type of interview questions. We have three types of interview questions that we want to cover in this presentation: behavior questions, situational questions, and skill-based questions. And then I will show you the common questions that usually come up in an interview and how the best way to answer them. So we have behavior questions. In behavior questions, usually what the interviewer want to see is how your ability and how you handle a situation, approach a situation based in experience that you already had. Can be past experience in the company that you worked previously or in the company that are working at the moment, but experience that you already had. What you want with this? We're looking for your soft skills. These behavior questions showing for us the soft skills that you have when you handle the situation, such as attitude, motivation, how you work in a team, if you are resilient, how your management style, ethic in the work. These kind of soft skills can be evaluated in this point. Let me see. I'm be quickly, or would like me to be more slow? I don't know. Let me see here. Please let me know here on the chat. I can see the chat. This is why I'm going and back. Okay, great. So the best way to answer this kind of questions is use the method that you call STAR methods. That's the STAR method. That means introduce the situation, introduce the problem to the client, and then describe the task that needed to be done and show the actions that you took at the moment and explain the results that you had. So, start situation, task, action, and results. If you can follow this like a script, yeah, if you can follow this script, is easily from your mind make a history about what happened, and you can feel more comfortable and tell the stories and keep the attention of the interviewer. Okay. I will show you now some examples of this kind of behavior questions. Tell me about a project that you work on that was successful or not successful. Have you ever handled conflict with a coworker in the past? Describe a time you took initiative to solve a problem. In this kind of questions, we can see how you acted in some experience that you already had based on the resume, based on in your background. So, uh, and this first one is really important. Tell me about the project that you worked on that was successful or not successful. For sure, you want successful history, you want successful results, but it's not at the time that you have successful, yes, history. Even if you don't have a not, even if you have a not successful history, tell for interviewer. Sometimes we know that the results is not in your hand, is out of your control, but the way that you took the situation for you and management all the actions that you need to do in this situation show for us how you work, how you performed well in the task, how you worked well in the team, and this kind of soft skills that you can evaluate. So this is the behavior questions, okay, based on the experience that you already had. And then you have this situational questions, different from behavior questions. Situational questions bring for us hypothetical questions, hypothetical actions that you probably had. It's something more about the future, like how a candidate might react to a specific scenario. So I, what we want to see is how confident you are to answer this kind of questions, how you make some kind of decisions. I'm showing you some examples for you right now. How would you deal with an angry client? Probably these kind of questions is based in the job descriptions in the position that were being interviewed for. For example, I am a recruiter and then I apply for one position that I need to work directly with the client, like that one, customer services. So then the interview you asked me, how would you deal with an angry client? So if I didn't deal with any client before, I need to figure it out. How will be my behavior in front of these tasks? Now, if you had this kind of experience, you can do a mix from both. Show how you would act in front of the angry client, and you can like highlight your speech to tell, actually, I already had this experience before, and then tell your history for the interview. Okay, so let me see here if everything's okay. Can I keep going? I'm seeing here in the chat. Okay, great. So these are situational questions. Usually behavior questions based in the experience that you had before, that you already had. Situational questions is based on the experience that for the job that you apply for. Usually they take the tasks that you need to do in the job and made questions for you about it. Skills-based questions. Skills-based questions is questions directly related to your past experience. Let me see how can I explain better this. Can be skills-based in knowledge and practical questions. For you all that is from IT area, the skills-based questions is the questions related to language that we use, framework, database that we use. All this kind of skills is skills based questions based in what learning from the college, what learning in the practical work that you have been done, and how you use this work, how you use these skills. So I have here some kind of these questions can be theoretical, as I said before. I will give you some examples after this slide. And practical, how you apply, how you practice, how you use your hands-on experience in this kind of skills. Let me show you this example that's better to explain. Here we are. The first one is a knowledge question. How are the different types of Python frameworks? So if you work with Python, you probably should know what types of Python frameworks you need to use for different applications. For different, you have Flask, you have Django, you have more than that. So what kind of different types of Python frameworks we have? And the client can be more deeply in this kind of question and ask you more details about these frameworks. So you also have the other one related to practical skills. That's me. If you receive a task to build a new product system, what questions would you ask the product manager? What points would you need to clarify between start your task? So this is the kind of questions that you need to have this experience this in order to perform well a task. So it's something that you don't learn in university. It's something that we just learn in the practical when you put your hands in the product. Okay. So let me see. I'm just take a look here on the chat if everything's going on. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. This is a good one. Code test are skills based interview. I know most of the candidates hate doing code tests, but code test is the most skills based questions is more important, one of the most important skills based questions, especially because the client can see, the interviewer can see you know what you're doing, in practical, doing coding, doing the task, doing the challenge that they asked you for, and usually is related with the work that you'll be done in the company. um, Now I am gonna show you what is the most common interview questions that come up in the interviews. Tell me about yourself questions. What employees and recruiters want to know? They want to know what makes you unique, what makes you different from the other candidates that you already have. So these questions is really important, especially for those that will attend the upcoming event, Women in Tech. It's amazing because, as you know, you just have 5 minutes, yes, to talk with the client. And if you can build a great script about yourself, you'll be amazed, keep the attention of the client, and also you have time enough to chat about other things in the network. So let me show you uh, a good way to build this script and tell about yourself for the client. Who are you? So describe one sentence to introduce you as a professional. Please don't bring personal subjects here, just professional, okay? You can talk about like I'm Rita, I'm from Brazil. It's personal, but I think it's a good for the clients know where are you, just in case, but just this personal thing, okay? So one sentence to introduce you as a professional. Highlight just 2 or 3 things that make you stand out, that make you unique, something that you're really proud of, and show for your client. And the third one, why are you here? Share 2 or 3 sentences about why this company and role is a good opportunity and you're excited about. Why you have the match with this opportunity. And for this, you have to, you must have, I always say that, read in details the job description. Please don't go to our interview without see in details the job description, because there is some point there that you can do a match with the experience that you have, and this highlights you so much for the client because you really touch the point that the client would like to hear. So please read the job description. I know in the event we don't know all the job descriptions that you have yet, So try to bring some from the experience that you already had, probably in a current company that you are working with. But when you go for the interview with the client, try to focus on the job description, okay? I'm showing you the example that I built by myself. Just 1 minute. Sorry. So my name is Rita. I have worked in the tech industry for the past 5 years, specifically work with Ruby on Rails, MySQL, and JavaScript. So I presented myself. I told for the client where I am from, what I'm doing, and what I'm looking doing. So he know that I am a full stack. Yes, because I'm working with Ruby on Rails and I'm also working with JavaScript. I made this clear for them. So in my most recent role, I created a new data storage for the users of my translation app. Furthermore, I was able to update the front end to be mobile first and dynamic to the user's location. So probably I'm talking about something that I just did or did in my previous company that make me so proud of myself for them. And then I explain why I'm here, why I am here in this interview, why I want to be part of this company. I'm taking part of this event as I'm excited to continue to grow in the industry. I was particularly interested in VanHack since I am passionate about connecting with global tech talents. So this is just a kind of example, and this information can be done in 1 minute, 1 minute and a half. I don't know, depending how nervous we are, because I know that being the hot city, it's not good. And try to be calm when you're talking about yourself. And you can do this in 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, and you have 3 minutes and a half to talk with the client or answer other kind of questions that he might have, he or she. Yeah. So talking about what are your strengths, these kind of questions usually come up in interview as well. So this is what I'm saying: read the posting, read the job description of the company carefully, and make sure that you have much of the match with they are looking for. Please do this all the time. Try to build a script as well before they asking for Ruby on Rails. So I have 5 years Ruby on Rails. I need to talk about this. They ask someone that probably in some point need to need to have coaching or leader a team. I have this. I did this in my previous job. I need to talk about this. So do these relations between what the job description want and what you have. And if you feel, and also do a mix in hard skills and soft skills, okay? Because both strengths here is really important. Don't be afraid to feel like arrogant talking about yourself with proud. And if you don't feel comfortable to talk about yourself, you can just use this kind of sentence that we usually use. I have been told that I am, and bring what you think about yourself, like someone told for you. Okay? Let me just take a look on the. Okay. I will just take a look on the chat if everything was okay. Let me moving forward. Weakness. So don't overshare. Please don't overshare. And don't say nothing negative about you. You can say something like a gap. Think of something that is really truthful. Let me not say like I'm not good on that. You can just bring, yes, I am. If the position asks you to work with SQL and you don't have 3 years of SQL and you don't have 3 years, just have 1 year, you can say, yes, I think my weakness is, my gap is I don't have 3 years of SQL, but it's something that I can try to improve in myself. I'm studying, I'm doing personal projects that work with SQL. I don't have professional experience with it, but I'm trying to run around this and get this experience working in my person. So bring something that show for the client that you are doing something to overcome the gap that you have. Uh, like the example that I gave here. I have noticed that I have a hard time prioritize. Oh my gosh, I don't know to say pronounce this word. Sorry, task and stay on track. So I block time of my off in my calendar and keep to the list so I don't miss anything. So the person brought something that they are not good in probably deadlines, but they try to do something to improve themselves. This is what you need to do. Okay, focus on bring the gap and bring the action that you are taking to make this better. Salary expectation. These kind of questions, I think I don't most of the clients, some of them don't ask about salary expectation because they think that if you apply for the position and the range of the salary is there, they assume that we agree with the salary they are offering. And this is something that you need to feel. If you have the range that the company is offering for you, you need to, even though you need to go for the interview with your range. For example, if the salary the company is offering 80 to 100,000 per year, and your range is 80 to 110, you need to be sure that your company probably you keep you in the interview because you have the range that they want, but you can get more than 100 they are offering. Just think about this. Make research about make research about the salary. Go with the range that real match with the range of the company. uh, the time of the time of negotiation is not during the interview, because this is, as I said before, the company assume that you already agree with the range that they offer. Okay, so you can do this kind of negotiation in the offer stage. Like, for example, your range is 80 to 99, and the company range is 80 to 100, and then they offer for you 80. That is your range, but you'd like more. So in that case, that your range is inside the range of the company, you can do some kind of negotiation. Okay, but don't try to negotiation salary range uh, above what they offer in the job descriptions. Please be really careful with this. Um, how would your coworker describe you? This is also a common question as well. In this kind of questions, you can show, actually, you can bring your strengths here. Is like a way that you can ask as well about strengths, and you can bring that talking about yourself, even though your coworkers don't describe you directly, but something that you can feel, you can have the feeling how you work with them and see how they treat you. Bring your personality traits for that, and how you are in the team, how you are with your leader, how you are with your company, and the rules, and everything, how you do your work. Try to bring this kind of activities that you do, and in a soft skills, okay, in a personal traits. Why do you want to leave your current job? So please here avoid talking something negative about the company that you are working, because clients can think if they are talking negative thing about the company that they're working, probably they will talk negative things about me as well. So this is not a good thing to bring in an interview, even though you have negative points to talk about the company. So, but be careful about this, okay? Tell them your goals. Choose, talking about the challenges that you have. For example, yeah, the company is really amazing with me, but now I'm looking for the opportunity to work abroad. I can prove my English, I can have new challenges, I can work with different, I can work in a team from different cultures. Just an example. I'm giving just an example, but don't talk about the negative things, the company that you are working, okay? Tell me about a tough decision you had to make and what happened. So all of us need to take tough decisions once on life for sure. Don't talking about personal decisions, okay? Bring something that work related always. They don't want to know about your personal life. Could be about need to delay a project or tell for some coworker that they need to be better in the work that they are doing, or I don't know, ask for your boss some time off because you were so stressful and you need time to rest. This is a tough decisions that you need to take while you're working. Remember a time that you did. You can also use here, um, depends the way, depends the answer that you have. You can use the star methods here as well to explain the situation, the task, the action, and the results. You can use also the star methods here, okay? Tell me about a project you work on that was successful. Highlight, this is also for sure another example that you can use the star method. Highlight the project's outcome. What's your involvement in the project? You were in charge of the project, you were a part of the project. How was your involvement in the project? How your performance in the project, and what was the result? So for sure you can use the star method in this kind of question because this is behavior questions. Yeah, tell me about the project you worked on. Tell about your experience that you already had. And then how do you handle stress and pressure? um, this is a difficult question, yes, to answer because I think stress and pressure depends a lot where you're working, the co-workers that you have, depends a lot of things. So be careful also when you answer this kind of questions. Don't say that you never or hardly feel stressed because this is lie. Yes, we always are stressed with something. This is life. You have personal life, you have professional life, you have many different things to do, and at some point we were stressful with something. So, how do you deal with difficult situations? Share an example that you are in this situation and you need to handle stress in a previous roles or in the company that we're working currently. And why should we hire you? This is good. Don't feel afraid here as well to feel like arrogant. Talk about yourself, bring it for the client, why you're good, what you have that can make their company better, what you can bring to the company to help the team to achieve the goal, and how you can learn with the company as well. So you can use phrases like due to my experience in Java description, I believe that I'm in the right position for the job because blah blah blah, and explain based on your experience. Or I do not know the other candidates that we were interviewing, but if I'm hired for this role, I can assure you that I can bring the experience that I have in that company. I can prove this kind of application. So try to work around this kind of answers. How do you have any questions for us? This is important to know because during the event you don't have enough time to do specific questions about the company. Uh, but you need to do this in an interview. When you go to an interview, it's just you and the client. So you have I think so. You have time enough to do specific questions about the research that you did from the company. But in the network from the event, try to do more generic questions. I gave you some example, one generic questions in the network. What do you like best about working for this company? It's not a specific question about the company. You just would like to know the impression that the client has about the company that they work. So it's totally okay, this kind of questions. Does your interview process look like? So you just wondering how will be the next steps of the interview. So generic questions. But then the last one, can you discuss the project that you need to be immediately addressed by the person you hired? These are specific questions. This kind of question you just need to do when you are interview face to face with the client. It's not in an event, okay? So that's it. I think you have time to answer some questions in the chat. Let me stop share. Give me a minute. Hi, people. It's so weird because I'm here talking alone by myself and just see the PowerPoint. I can see your face. It's like a, I don't know. It's funny. So do you have the? I can see. Let me see. I don't know if Bonita already answered some questions for you. Let me see here. Bonita, help me here with some kind of questions that you can answer for the audience. So what I'm gonna, I know. Let me back here on the. Okay, okay. I saw that Bonita was answered these questions. When asked about salary expectation, can you say I'm open to negotiation? Yes, for sure. For sure. You can say that I'm open to negotiation, but make sure that you have in mind a kind of range. Because for the client, it's really like I don't know what to do with this candidate. My range is 80 to 100, but they're open to negotiation. But what kind of negotiation? And make sure this is important about salary expectations, something that the client always brings to me, Rita. Um, the salary that you offer is based on the experience that the candidate and the seniority that they have. And when you talk about years of seniority, it's not about years of experience. It's about the kind of company that you worked with, the kind of how complex were the projects that work with, the size of the company, how can I say more, how many applications and how many frameworks, how many tech skills they need to use in that job. All of things together, you define the seniority that you have for that position. It's not only 80 years of experience, 10 years of experience. Sometimes I interview candidates that have 4 years of experience and to be honest, has more experience the other one that works 6, 7 years because the company that they work and the projects that they did. This is important to be in mind, especially when you put line research. I have 80 years of experience. How much a salary? How much is a salary for a person that has 80 years of experience? It's not about the years, okay? Does the protocol work? No, this kind of question, this the protocol work for all case scenarios. I don't know if I understand the questions, but I'm trying. This is a kind of common questions that you can use, but for sure, everything you depend on the interview, everything you depend on the client. Some clients, some interview, you have more connection. You can talk more about a subject. Another one, they will be more direct to the point. So be prepared to be direct to the point. Follow the steps on the interview. Build your script about yourself, talking about yourself. Be prepared to answer this kind of questions. and know what interview is. uh, Choose a project, choose a time, choose this kind of things, and prepare yourself. But if you in the interview you see how the thing is going on, if it be more how can I say softy, or if it be more direct to the point, depends a lot. It's just a script, it's just some tips and some ideas that we'd like to give to you, but it's not like closing the box. Everything can happen in interview. Yes. What is the easy way to pass whiteboard coding test? Oh my gosh, I don't know how I answer these questions, to be honest. And this is funny because sometimes I tell for my client, it's really necessary this code test. The interview is so amazing, but yeah, sometimes it's so necessary. I can tell how is the best way to pass in the code test, but yeah, depends a lot, and they so different kind of code test, different kind. But yeah, prepare yourself. Bonita gave the best answer than me. Prepare yourself. Let me see if I found. Yes, I can follow you guys. Is that okay? What I'm gonna doing right now, I'm back to the last slide. Just forgive for you my just to leave with you my email. Can you grab my email, please? And my name on Slack. Please send me a message or email if you have any questions. I promise that I will answer all of you back. I don't know if the right time that you send to me because the different time zone, and sometimes I am in back-to-back interview, but I will do. Is that okay? I'm just stop sharing right now and be back here. So I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, all of you. I wish you real luck in the upcoming event. For those that the first time in the event, it's amazing. The energy and the interview, it's the best event ever, be sure. And I think we're gonna like them. And yes, thank you so much for being here with me again. And hope to see you soon. Bye bye.